Alright, round 5 with Rakdos, focusing red, or at least an aggressive posture. I'll keep this. Seems fairly reasonable. I could obviously lead with Bolt, but I think I'm gonna need double black at some point. It's unlikely that I need to Bolt on turn 1, and if they play something I need to kill, I mean it's still going to be there. Go on, turn 2 Alchemist. There's an Angler. Well, we're kind of far away from doing this, but I guess we'll just have to see what the opponent's playing. That could mean they're on Blitz, could mean they're on Drake. I think I'd much rather see a Kiln Fiend here. Seems to imply Kiln Fiends to me. Obviously not with this hand in particular though. I think this is a bad hand against them unless I draw a 2-mana removal spell. Since if they just play Kiln Fiend and have a Mutagenic Growth in their hand, then I'm probably dead. Since we're sort of Angler flooded. I'm quite glad they didn't play Kiln Fiend there, since that would have because if they play Kiln Fiend and they know that you have Lightning Bolt, it's almost always bad news for you. Since they're obviously not gonna throw their like 1-win condition into the fire. Well, that's certainly something. And the fact that we have Warbrute does mean they do need to take some actions. They can't build up forever. Double Cyclops. Well, I think I should maybe wait to see if I draw an Edict or a Terminate, rather than because I can like double Lightning Bolt it, and then I like kind of have a chance at Warbrute. But if they have Mutagenic Growth, then I just get 2 for 1, which isn't ideal. But if I draw an Edict or Terminate, then I can save these bolts for, you know, Kiln Fiends and Delvers. Alright. Worked out okay for me then. Not too far away from casting our first Angler. The Ivankar's Justice, not looking stellar. Alright, they found another Cyclops. And I'm just going to terminate that. If they have another Cyclops, you know, with Apostle's Blessing mana open, then I'm probably going to die. But it doesn't look like that's the case. So I'm just going to go ahead and play this Angler. It's entirely possible that they have like a Daze or something. And I did just exile a Chainer's Edict. But, you know, I'm 3 lands away from being able to flash one of those back. Putting the pressure on should help, since it, you know, that if the game goes on forever, they will eventually build up enough protection to play a creature and kill me. Okay, there's some Kiln Fiends. So actually, I think I should cast a Firebolt. So I could obviously try to go for the Justice, but I think something bad will happen if I do that. So I think if I go for the Firebolt, if they try and protect it, then that's okay with me, because then I can Lightning them and put them down to 1 card. And I find it difficult to imagine that they can kill me with 1 card in their hand. I mean, it's certainly not impossible. Like if their last card is another Gush, and they draw into a bunch of action off of that. But I do have like a blocker, so they would need to have, you know, Temur Battle Rage plus card drawing. And I think this means next turn I get to kill off their creatures. If I'd drawn a land there, I would have definitely played Justice plus Bolt. Alright. I mean, yeah. If it's like cantrip into stuff, then I'm dead here, I guess. If it's like a lightning bolt too. Could be slow rolling 2 lightning bolts. That'd be brutal. Okay. This is obviously going to deal me a couple of damage, but if they had lightning bolts, I would be dead. So I also could have played Sprinting Warbrute there, because playing Sprinting Warbrute and Bolt plus attacking was lethal. But they had 2 cards in hand, and like one of them could have been a negate or something to stop me from killing them, and I might have then died on the backswing. So it's obviously, it's just a case of being aggressive, like conservative, or otherwise. And I think we were gonna like very likely to win the game by doing this, and I think we are almost certainly gonna win the game here too. But knowing that they had no bolts meant I think this play was very, very safe. So it's alright. So I can take out the Warbrute, I can take out an Angler. I think I want to take out some of these cards. And I want to put in some of these cards. Let's see. I guess I want some duress. Grotesque Mutation is not exactly what you want, since like say gaining even 8 life isn't that big a deal if they get a good hit in with Temur Battle Rage. And yeah, I think that's basically everything I want in the deck. Like Pristine Talisman actually not that great. And so I still like need like my like card draw things. But yeah, actually, I mean, this is different from Grotesque Mutation in the sense that it might even gain less life than the mutation, but it's just a sort of like incidental thing. Like I still kind of want the mana source in my deck. Okay, I think this is fine. It's the same with like I think I just want 1 life gain card in my deck. It's either like Pristine Talisman or like Brush with Death or Grotesque Mutation. But I think it's harder to get Mutation to work, especially since I want to board out an Angler, because it's like one of the ways I can easily lose is just by being Gurmag Angler flooded. So I want to trim the expensive cards, and even though it has Delve and becomes cheap, having multiples of them doesn't necessarily help. So I could obviously play Mountain first in order to leave up Bolt and Pyroblast, but I think getting a Black Source should be useful. Like I don't see me Pyroblasting this Preordain. I mean, if I had an inclination that they only had 1 land, then I would totally do it, but I have no information on that. I'd rather save Pyroblast for a Cyclops or a Gush. Well, I certainly am ready to kill some things, and with 1 land, extra should be able to effectively attack their hand. It was semi-tempting to play Pyroblast on their Ponder there, because if I don't draw a land, I'm actually going to end up discarding to hand size. So it looks like that is what's going to happen. I'm just going to discard the Justice. I'm really far away from being able to use that. Gataxian Probe. Well, they're going to see all of my nonsense. It's also possible I could just like bolt their face and not discard this, but I think bolt's going to be better on average, since they have a bunch of protection for their cards. What I really want to be doing against this deck is trying to kill their things at the end of their turn, and then kill them on my turn after they protect them. So I think I just pass Barrett again, hopefully draw land. Yep, I'm just going to discard Firebolt this time. Since it has flashback, I already have a bolt for the same purpose. And I think if they do most things, I would play some spells. I mean, this is an unfortunate situation, but I'm not going to win by just like spewing my cards everywhere. So I actually think I should probably just discard Angler. I mean, it's going to be cheap, so maybe not. But given that I probably need all these, like it's possible I could discard a Lightning, but these get better in multiples. Discarding a land after failing to draw a land for quite some time seems kind of greedy, but then maybe it's not, because if they don't cast anything, then I can cast a Lightning. Nah, I'm going to discard Angler. That seems a bit weird. I think it could be wrong, but I think I just need my cheap interaction in order to not die. Gurmag, tapping out for a Gurmag Angler is a good way to get yourself murdered. And even though we've been discarding cards for a while, I think, and I totally could cast this here, but I think I just want to get my Lightning Train going. I would have definitely discarded this since it wasn't a land. Hydroblast. I'm gonna try and force through the Lightning. I mean, it's all probably not happening, but it is attacking their protection spells. And next turn I can like cast Terminate and Chainer's Edict. I'll see how they feel about Pristine Talisman. They feel happy about it. So this also gives me enough mana to flashback Firebolt. So they probably have more Hydroblasts. But I have another Lightning. So I'll just keep casting Lightnings till my opponent falls over. Wow, possibly they just have an atrocious draw. And they haven't been protecting their creatures at all. Maybe they just have tons of lands. Well, I'm gonna cast Night's Whisper. I'd be happy to draw some lands. Not gonna bother casting anything. Like next turn I'll probably want to Duress into Lightning or something, but this turn I'm gonna like leave all my kill spells up again. Mountain's not great, but you know, we can do stuff with mana eventually. Gush, yep, this makes sense. Just casting it to draw 2 is a good card against what I'm currently doing. Alright, I'll write these down I guess. So I'm just going to take Blessing, even though they have another one. Working through the Blessing is a perfectly acceptable thing to be doing. I mean, I know they have like they have some like islands in their hand to discard here. They discarded an Expanse. Well, they don't have islands rather, but they have an Expanse. So that puts them down to like 2 bolts, the Cyclops and the Blessing. So the Cyclops dies to Chainer's Edict. So that's fine. But if they draw like multiple creatures and they need to play an extra creature to provide Edict protection, then I will just rain bolts down. Drawing another Gush definitely does undo a lot of the damage I've been doing with the Blightnings. They don't always play like a full set of Gushes in this deck, but it's definitely one of the best ways they can recover from, you know, a ton of discard. So I definitely need to draw some more Night's Whispers myself to keep up, I think. Alright, so yes, I definitely need to clear the Delver out the way before I cast any Edicts. Okay, I'll try and kill it again. So the opponent still has 2 bolts and an island, since they actually paid the cost this time to return 2 islands, so I know that that's there. It's arguable I should go try and do the bolt flashback thing there, but I think it's a bit safer to do that when I have another mana, like 1 more mana than this, so that if something goes wrong with the bolt flashback, then I still have a Terminate available. Whereas at the moment, if I like cast bolt plus flashback, I only have 1 mana left over. Here's Kill Fiend. So I'm not gonna. Don't think I want to cast Terminate. Oh well, there's a. I'm definitely casting Terminate on that one. And so the opponent has 2 bolts. Time to put that opposing creature into the graveyard. And bog them. I don't think the bog does anything, but still feels good. Exile 21 cards. Must be good. And we still have like an Edict as well for bigger creatures, but I think I want to bolt. I don't need to play the Bloodfell Caves, so I'll just hold it to bluff things. Right, to put the fear in them. Well, so I know they have 2 bolts, so I'll just wait until they have like 4 cards. Because if I just cast Lightning, then they can just bolt, and then they only need to discard 1. Ah, but now they know about the Lightning anyway, so. So it's either hits 2 bolts or like 2 other cards. I don't even care that much about the bolts, but if I remove 2 of them, then they can't kill an angler. So I managed to hit a Dispel and a Delver. That seems good. They're correctly assuming that a lone Delver isn't going to get the job done, considering the Pristine Talisman and everything that's happening. And since I have so much mana, I even have the luxury of gaining an extra life. Well, better than late than never. There's Thermo-Alchemist. It's gonna get bolted, for sure. But I'm not gonna win by not casting Thermo-Alchemist. And again, it means they can't double bolt an angler once I draw one. Definitely flooding out a little bit here. Could do with drawing a few more cards. But given the flashback and removal spells, I think I should still be relatively alright. Okay, more edicts. I'm feeling quite safe. And I know, like, technically I should be tapping this end step, represent tons of mana on their turn, but instantly this would be a fine time to draw Brush with Death, but I'm pretty sure I boarded it out. Since if I'm casting it, it means I've already weathered the storm, and I should be able to win with whatever by that point. No, time to eat another bolt. That's okay though, like, getting those things bolted isn't obviously great since I would like to kill them at some point, but it does mean if something weird happens, like if they expedite or something, it means they've got less cards in their hand to kill me with, so... Bloodfell Caves, more life. Oh, more bolts. Right, maybe they're hoping I don't have any win conditions. Stormbuntgeist. They could easily have a Dispel by this time. But countering that is obviously great since it otherwise would eat 2 removal spells. Okay, that's interesting. So I'm gonna go for the Firebolt on Delver of Secrets, and then try and flash back an Edict, I think. I guess that was a mistake. I should have like played this land out in case they had Spell Pierce. But I mean, it's unlikely to matter. Okay, so they could have an answer to Gurmag Angler. Or they could just have more Cyclops. But they're not going to enjoy this Chainer's Edict. That's my prediction. They're not going to enjoy that one bit. And they're dead next turn. Well, I'm feeling confident, and you know this deck seemed pretty sweet. It didn't necessarily hit the one-offs all that often, but it seemed sweet. I enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed seeing the deck also. See you next time.